So I'd like to ask Caroline to come up. A couple of words about Caroline. She's not only a great asset to our downtown and a local resident, one of our gems in our community. She's a pharmacist, a certified menopause practitioner with the North American Menopause Society, motivational speaker, and you'll see what I mean in a couple minutes. She's been a guest on radio and TV, has lectured at McMaster, University of Toronto, University of Waterloo. She's spoken to pharmacists, physicians, family health teams across the country. And she's won national awards for patient care. She was the keynote speaker last year at our Women's Health Symposium, and her main area of practice includes women's health, pain, smoking cessation, and the integration of traditional and natural medicine. She practices just down the street here at Brant Arts Dispensary, where she meets patients by appointment. So I know her presentation will be both thought-provoking and inspiring, and give us lots of information on such topics as sleep, stress, hormone use, from teens to menopause, and the all-important, leading up to Valentine's Day, our libido. Enjoy.
Good afternoon, everyone. Are you ready to learn? Are your brains open? Because I'm going to be stuffing them. There is a handout, not that you have to look at it, but I have summarized the talk for you. But for some, you like to take notes, to process and learn, so there is a page at the end of the summary of the talk that you can make notes on. Of course, I'm speaking now and later, so feel free to, not to read it as I go, but if you want to use that back page and make notes as you go along, I am absolutely fine with that. This is a wonderful afternoon. I love all the estrogen energy and Sean's little bit of testosterone, because we do need testosterone balance, so thank you for providing that for us today, Sean. I am thinking about this sleep, crave, love. When you leave here, I want you to realize the importance of sleep, because it's the fundamental of health. I want you to feel that you can crave and enjoy life, but eat the things that Janet tells you only, that's coming up. And then we're going to leave on the hormonal note, and you'll walk out of here at 4 o'clock full of love. And that will be our sleep, crave, love that will take you right into Valentine's. So to start off with, I want you to realize that even though I'm a pharmacist, the fundamental of health is lifestyle. It is at the base of this triangle or pyramid, because you cannot replace lifestyle with a pill. You can't take a natural product, a homeopathic product. You can't swallow anything other than good nutrition that will replace that fundamental. So everything I talk about today is going to come back to that. That is what we have to think of first. So you see at the bottom, we have nutrition, we have sleep, exercise, meditation, prayer, and yoga. It's interesting that when you look at people reducing breast cancer risk, and everyone who comes to see me, what are their 3 big things as they grow older that they're worried about? Their head, I don't want to forget anything. Their heart, cardiovascular health, and their breasts. They don't want breast cancer. Everyone is worried about that as we age. And to reduce breast cancer risk by 25%, and that is whether you have family history or not. If you exercise moderate to vigorous 5 times a week, you have less than 7 alcoholic beverages a day. Oh, not a day. I wondered if you would catch that. 7 alcoholic beverages a week. And I'm talking red wine, not beer here. So we've got some antioxidants going. So exercise, less than 7 a week, and BMI in a healthy range, so 18.5 to 24.5, that's a 25% risk reduction in breast cancer. Lifestyle has more impact on breast cancer, other than family history, than anything else. So when people worry about hormone therapy and breast cancer, I can tell you that gaining weight, not sleeping well, not eating well, has way more risk than hormone therapy. So lifestyle is the base. So we're going to start with that this afternoon. When I had that meditation, prayer, yoga, when people do deep paced breathing and relax, Marianne said, everyone take a breath. I want you to take a breath 5 seconds through the nose and then 5 seconds out through the mouth. So everybody ready? Now we should be sitting ready to learn today. That does not mean slouching. Feet flat on the floor, shoulders back and down. Okay, so 5 seconds in through the nose, everybody. And out. That, that breath, that yoga breath, ujjayi breath, isn't that the right name for it? You heat it in the throat. Okay, do it again, because your shoulders need to drop more. You are still carrying tension. I can feel it. Do one more time. 5 in. And out. Okay, I feel more relaxed already. This is great. When people do that for 5 minutes, twice a day, it will decrease their hot flashes and night sweats as much as any non-prescription drug. It will improve pain in people who have pain. It will reduce stress. It will improve sleep quality. So where can you catch those 5 minutes of deep breathing? How about the shower? Before you get out of bed, you hit the snooze more than once? How many people hit the snooze more than once? Okay, I'm about a 3-time snoozer. Always, without fail. There is time between those snoozes for some deep breathing. Shower deep breathing. No, that's your time. Enjoy that shower. Don't rush that shower. Now, what about going to the bathroom? We sit to go to the bathroom. So why aren't we doing some deep breathing? The guys are in there forever. You know that. And they're reading, and I don't know what else they're doing, but we should be breathing. And when men come to see me, I will tell them, even if you don't have to sit and do some breathing. I don't know how many of them take me up on that, but the power of the breath, and you will see things I've seen at that silent auction table to do with exercise, with yoga. Many of the practitioners here today, this is your time to make a new plan as you move into 2012. This base should not be the leftovers. It should be what's on your calendar first. Time with family, time with friends, faith, nourishing your soul. You as a person is what makes you healthy. And that's why in countries where people live the longest, that is a fundamental of all those regions. So let's look at exercise. Who's here with Tread Powerfully? Put up your hand. Sue in here yet? Sue here? I know she had to run kids back and forth today. Sue Abel started this group downtown, power walking, they use 2 and 3 pound weights. She took that exercise to a different level, bringing people outside, community, fabulous downtown program. Hike and yoga. Anybody here from hike and yoga? Who's done that? Hike and yoga, outside, exercising, in the woods, deep breathing, yoga moves in the snow, snowshoeing. It doesn't matter what it is, get out, be active. Let's look at this body. How many of you have read Lorna Vanderhaeg's book? She has a great book on hormones, nice pink book, and it is actually out on the silent auction table. In that book, she talks about the body as an orchestra, and I thought it was a great analogy. My daughter is in music, and so I am hearing her orchestra play all the time, and I can tell you when the orchestra comes out, everybody claps, and then the concert master arrives. And that concert master, often a clarinetist, will often signal the oboe, they'll tune the band. They are under the direct direction of the conductor. Concert master comes in, they set everybody up. Then the conductor comes in, everybody claps. Well, in the brain, we have a conductor. It's called the hypothalamus. It sends messages to the pituitary gland. That's the concert master. And then everybody is supposed to play their part. But what if that first trombone, that French horn is like, I'm not feeling up too much today, I'm very busy, and I've practiced a lot. Can you take part in my part? I don't want to play that bar. So then the guy on second, sure, I'll play it. On my rest, I'll cover you off. Well, that guy's getting pretty tired because he's doing his part and your part. And then the conductor's like, oh my gosh, I think you guys better be a bit louder here on this side because they are messing up. We got to cover them up. And now everybody's trying to compensate for not everyone doing their job. You listening are trying to hear a beautiful symphony. You want everything balanced. And when that music is perfect, you're relaxed, you feel wonderful. But it doesn't take much for one thing to get out of whack and it infect the entire picture. Everything else will compensate for that. So that orchestra is going on in the body. So we talked about our token male today. This is sort of a body with male and female parts, if you notice that. There's ovaries and there's some other things below. Do you see that? Sometimes in a woman's thing, people bring in a guy to do some stuff, you know, that's your guy, okay? That's it, that's your any kind of, you know, that kind of thing. We won't go into it, but anyways. So if we start, here's our hypothalamus in the brain, sending messages to the pituitary, which is sending hormonal cues to your adrenal glands. They sit on your kidneys. They're your glands of stress. When you're stressed, you make excess cortisol. If you make too much cortisol, then that exhausts you. And because you're making more than you're supposed to. Stress is very wearing. Your heart rate goes up. You store fat. You have no sex drive. Stress is dangerous. And it will impact on every other area of the body. So we have this orchestration. We have signals going from one part to the ovaries, which are way down. Our ovaries, which are way down here at the bottom. This pointer, can you see them down there? There they are. Some of you don't have them, but those of you do, there they are. So you have messaging coming down to these guys, coming down to the adrenal glands. It is all working like an orchestra. This is the most technical slide I'm going to show. There is no test after, although I did think about it. There is no test. However, if you were to have this cortisol production, which is down in the middle, in excess because we're stressed, and we want more cortisol, we may take our progesterone, which we need, and shunt it down a pathway to make more of this. And then we're thinking, oh my gosh, cortisol is the top of this whole thing. Our cholesterol, people think cholesterol is bad, but all your hormones are derived from cholesterol. It's absolutely essential, not in excess, but in the right balance. So you don't have to memorize this. I want you to get the sense that these hormones can trigger down different pathways. This can come down here to estrogen, testosterone. But how do we keep ourselves feeling well, not moody, not having hot flashes, night sweats? There's things we may have to add with herbs and so on. But to keep this machine running and balanced, you can't think that if you don't sleep, it doesn't affect everything else in the body, because it does. You can't think that your stress is just short term, it's not a big deal. It is affecting everything. It's affecting your thyroid function, your ovarian function. It is all interconnected. So let's start with sleep, because it's a fundamental. So I'm going to do a little quiz. Which of the following can be caused by poor sleep? Number one, pain. What do you think? Is pain caused by poor sleep? Okay. Depression. Can depression be caused by poor sleep? No one's disagreeing, are they? How about inability to lose weight? If you don't sleep at least 5 good hours a night, no matter what your exercise, what your diet, you will not lose weight. Sleep is fundamental. Increased risk of cardiovascular disease. There's some. Your risk of heart disease is greater not sleeping than if you have high cholesterol. What about reduced production of human growth hormone? Human growth hormone restores all your nerves, your tissues. It's essential. You won't make enough of it if you're not sleeping. So basically, it's all of them. Sleep is the fundamental of health. There's actually a triangle that we talk about. Dr. Colin Shapiro, who is a sleep expert in Toronto, he runs a research clinic, he teaches at the University of Toronto, and he's written a book on the triangle of pain, depression, and sleep. If I gave somebody the job of moving bricks, someone else is digging a ditch, and someone else is not sleeping, after 3 days of that activity, who will have guaranteed pain? The ditch digger, the brick mover, or the non-sleeper? The non-sleeper. I set you up though, didn't I? But it's true. So when somebody says, I didn't sleep because of pain, well, maybe you had pain because you didn't sleep. And then that pain generated enough discomfort the next day that it prevented you from sleeping well, and we have this vicious cycle. Sleep is the base.